If you come to Japan, come off as dweeby. Trust me, it's a no-no.
ご主人様のお名前呼ぶのでお名前を教えてください。
私の名前はアボボ。
アボボ？
アボボ。アフリカの名前です。
アボボ？
アボボ。
アボボ。
アボボボボもういい、大丈夫。何でもいい。
わかりました。
言ってください、アボボボ。
アボボボ。
にゃんにゃん。キュンキュン。ピョンピョン。ありがとう。皆さん、ありがとう。Quick side note, the paperback of my book, How to Date Japanese Women, is out now. If you're interested in Japanese women, my book is for you. In this video, I'm going to break down certain myths and certain things that you should know before actually going to Japan. Number 5. Indian guys. From what I've seen, in Japan, Indian guys, they're plentiful, but they do generally the worst. When I was in India, I spoke to quite a few Indian people and I asked them, why are you guys not able to talk to girls when they turn up, right? And they say it's our culture. We are used to like arranged marriage and getting the girls come to us through our parents and stuff. We don't know how to talk to them. And again, this I think makes them a little bit socially less aware, and it makes it harder for them to get the chicas, especially with Japanese girls who are very, very social, hyperly sensitive.
Hey, fun! The last person on this floor is...
Hey, come on in, girl. I've got so much to show you.
So, the third floor?
Where are you going? Come back.
The ones that I've seen that do get a lot of play are the ones that, you know, usually are taller, usually calmer. They tend to come on with girls in the first place, which helps a lot, like with the disarming, you know. And they're a little bit more reserved, just like the Japanese girls, right? Because here's the thing, if you're Indian, just go like on like Mount Fuji trips where you kind of like have like an icebreaker where you're on a tour where the tour guide breaks the ice, so you don't really like misinterpret the social interaction. I think that would help a lot of people. Number 4, black guys. Black guys tend to be either extremely ghetto or extremely dweeby, okay? And there is a place for everything. If you come to Japan as someone ghetto, trust me, you'll come off as intimidating. If you come to Japan, come off as dweeby, trust me, it's a no-no. The black guys that I've met tend to be extremely dweeby, you know, and I don't know, like some get some, others don't. And the ones that get some are like situation appropriate, right? The dweeby ones, they usually go to like those dweeb clubs where they play anime music and they can get some girls, you know, because those girls tend to be like really Japanese, and you know, and the dweebiness kind of helps them disarm you because everyone thinks you're like a gangster, right? Like if you're black, everybody thinks you're a gangster, and if you're a little bit more dweeby, it helps by disarming them at the right situation, right? Then there's the clubs where like you can, you know, you go to the black clubs and you can just smell the testosterone, where every single Japanese girl has like braids, looks super thick, bro, super thick. Do you know what I mean? Like some of them like start twerking, some of them like, you know, like flaunt the money, some of them like come already with black guys. That's where you have to, do you know what I mean, dial up your ghetto-ness, be like anti-Japanese, just pretend you're like a war criminal.
F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me.
Titties, fish titties, gotta suck these fish titties. Got off at 5, sucking titties by 650s. Not Will Smith, but bitches call me Big Willie, cause I got a big dick. Been fucking fish silly, fish titties.
Do you know what I'm saying? There was this one time, right? I was in the club by myself, right? And I had this super ghetto friend. His name is like Soldier, like Simply Grim, right? And I was like surrounded by girls, and I was telling him, bro, I'm in the club by myself, and there's these hot chicks, bro. What do I do? And he's like, what is the situation? And I tell him like, bro, they're like surrounding me, they're trying to get my attention, you know? You know what he says? He says, just play cool, ignore them, right? Anyone below a 7, shoot them in the face with rejection, bro. Let the other girls know that you don't go below 7. Do you know what I mean? And this is how I actually would like strategize with him and play the game, because he was a master in going to the club. But whereas like outside, you know, like he would just be intimidating. I kind of like would do really well. Do you know what I mean? Because I kind of spoke Japanese a little bit. And here's another side note, bro. If you speak Japanese, right, and it's actually good, not like mine, it will work against you. Because the Japanese girls won't have that novelty. And even cry, in the worst case scenario, they will think you're married to a Japanese woman. So, like, obviously speaking Japanese will help you like get along and get around, right? But if you speak it too perfect, they think you're married and you're like a player. Okay, so don't go there. Number 3, Latino guys. I haven't met many, but I've heard they do really well, especially if you appear to be white or Western. Just the lighter the better. Do you know what I mean? Number 2. By the way, this is like in order who does best. 2, white guys. White guys do like really well. Like just being white, the Japanese women like wanna see you, right? Like they wanna see how you do, who you are. So they have like this preconception that you're like Superman, you know, you control the world, you done so much, right? And mostly it's because of the media. Mostly, okay? It doesn't matter how dweeby you are, it doesn't matter how unhygienic you are, it doesn't matter how, you know, as long as you're white, you're right. Okay, you do really well. But here's the problem. And the reason why is, and I had my white friend, he was Canadian, explain it to me, is because the white people have colonized so many places, right? And they have invented so many places, so many things, or at least like taking credit for the things, and it works in your advantage. Make sure you take advantage of it, right? And my friend said like, oh man, being white in Asia is amazing because everybody thinks you're like the guy. Meanwhile, you might be dweeby. Meanwhile, you might be a loser where you come from, but it doesn't matter because you are the guy, right? You have money. You have invented so many things. You're like the quintessential prototype of humanity, right? You present the world, and the reason is because of colonization, he said. But he said the image is slowly fading because the Chinese are coming up. So I need to take advantage of all the whiteness that I have for as long as I can. And it really made me think, I thought it's really true, you know? Like the media image really, really, really helps you for the better or for the worse, all right? Black people, obviously for the worse, because we look dangerous and like intimidating, whereas white people helps you a lot. So take advantage of it, right? Start with Tinder. Tinder, you do really well. You get so many matches. As a black guy, actually, you get some matches, but not as many as like white guys. Start with Tinder. Like even if you can't get there right now, start with Tinder. You'll see how many matches you get and like prep them before you get there, right? And number 1, who does the best, and you'll be surprised, Korean guys. Yeah, Korean guys do well because they get like the good of every race, right? They're tall, handsome, and they get like the media hype with K-pop. Believe it or don't, there's like clubs specifically where only Korean guys are allowed to enter, right? And Japanese women go there just to pick up Korean guys, right? And the good thing about Korean guys, it's like they're just like familiar because they look Asians, but not really are Asians. They tend to be more confident, tall, handsome, and they got the clout and the hype from the like K-pop stuff. And I think, man, Korean guys, like, if you're not shy, you've got so much potential because they're like super good looking, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro, like super good looking. They have the swag, right? But a lot of them don't have like the confidence, right? And it actually works in their advantage because the Japanese girls are chasing them, right? So I don't know, man. If you can like look at every race, what they're doing well and where they do well, then you can literally prep yourself for when you get to Japan, right? If you dweeby, go to more like the hentai places, maid cafes, but don't be too dweeby there because then they will just see you as a customer, right? If you like more ghetto, right, go to clubs and bars like where like the Nigerians, the black dudes, the American militaries hang out, like Okinawa, for example. Me in Tokyo, I didn't do well because I didn't know, right? In Okinawa, I did well, but I didn't know. But if I compare both, I was like, yes, bro, that's what's up, right? If you're white, you usually do well everywhere except for Okinawa. Okinawa, they literally just want black guys, right? If you're Indian, just go like on like Mount Fuji trips where you kind of like have like an icebreaker where you're on a tour where the tour guide breaks the ice, so you don't really like misinterpret the social interaction because the ice is already broken by some other like event like climbing mountains or going to tourist places. You know, like just see where you fit, what your demographic is, what kind of girls you like, and then like niche yourself into it, you know? Note how like girls usually do that, you know? If they're like black guys, they braid their hair. If they're like white guys, they pretend to be really cute and innocent. You know, if they, you know, do you know what I'm saying? Like do the same, be strategic about it, right? I hope this helps. Like this video if you haven't already. This is, yeah, I don't know, man. I hope it helps, man. And let me know if you have any other video suggestions or comments.